Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. I'm going to wait for a minute. We have several people who are going to be joining us, and I'm very excited to be hosting this webinar amidst all of these trying times. I just wanted to make sure that everybody gets logged in before I get started. My name is Lois Hermann, and I am a success coach and a board certified hypnotist. And I'll give you a little bit more about my background in a minute, but just during these trying times, I have skills, I have tips, I have thoughts and ideas that I can share with people. So I wanted to make sure that I had the opportunity to do that, and that's why I've decided to do this webinar. So let's wait until a couple more people get logged in. Some people might have a challenge getting online, so we'll see. And for those who are not being able to get online, let me just see here. People who are on can actually type a comment, and there's a little chat box in the bottom. If you want to type your comment there, then I will see. This is a webinar where I'm going to be recording this, so we're not going to see everybody on the screen right now. It's mostly going to be me, and we're going to be joined by Dr. Laura Chan in about half an hour or so. So right now, you're mostly going to be hearing me, and I'm going to be sharing a PowerPoint presentation. So I hope that you'll be able to see this, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let me share my screen, and let me share my PowerPoint. So as I said, my name is Lois Hermann. I'm a success coach and board certified hypnotist. And I am doing this presentation as an opportunity to help you go from all of this stress to be successful, to be peaceful in this time of world crisis. We already have been dealing with so much adversity, all these different things that are going on. We're already at a tipping point in our world with so much that we're dealing with. And then we end up with an extra burden of this coronavirus pandemic. And it's disturbing everyone. And it's going to continue to disturb us with loss of income, the uncertainty, the isolation, all of this stuff, the fear that's going on. So think to yourself, what is your greatest fear? Because fear is going to paralyze you. And what I want to let you know is that we live in one of the most amazing countries in the world. We have the best healthcare system, and we are forewarned. China and Italy didn't know what hit them. So what might happen here is going to be a different story. But what happens with stress is the same worldwide. Stress affects us. It affects our attitude, which affects our health, which affects our success all the way around. So stress really gets to us at a very deep, deep level, and we need to learn to shift out of it and not allow it to bring us down. So, yeah, while I'm stressed, why do you ask? It affects our physiology, it affects our mental health, it affects our immune system, it affects our life. And for those of us who have some compromised immune systems, we need to stay ahead of the game here. I had a a radio show last night, and I was kind of comparing this to the storm that's coming. Those of us who live in New England, we know what a nor'easter is. And a nor'easter, we get prepared. We know it's coming. We hunker down. We get everything in preparedness mode. And that's what we need to be right now, is in preparedness mode. There was evidently a blizzard of 78, and people were not even prepared, but many of them were homebound for up to 2 weeks. We just need to realize that we've got a storm coming, and we've got to be able to stress through this with some simple stress busters that I'm going to show you. I'm going to start by sharing a centering exercise that you can download. It's actually on my YouTube channel, but I'd like to start today with just a simple centering exercise. So let's see if this works. Take just a moment to escape the stress of the day with a simple centering exercise. Be sure you're in a place where you can close your eyes. First, rest your hand gently on your belly. Notice as you breathe in, your belly pushes your hand out. And as you breathe out, your hand moves inward as you push the air from your lungs. It might feel kind of opposite of what you're used to. Just keep breathing with it and relax. Now, close your eyes and pretend they won't open. And as you take a few more gentle breaths, breathe in through your nose deep into the belly to a count of 4. And feel your hand move outward as your belly relaxes. Exhale through your mouth and relax your jaw muscles. Breathe out slowly to a count of 6. As you let your breath out, allow yourself to relax and let go. Did you know that oxygen is our primary source of nourishment? As you take a moment to breathe deeply, you nourish yourself and you replenish your cells. Continue to breathe and allow your diaphragm to push your belly out, gently moving those internal organs. Now, feel as if you're breathing into your lower back. When you breathe with only the center part of your lungs, you will miss a great opportunity. When you breathe with all of your lungs, you stimulate the vagus nerve that runs along the diaphragm. It releases endorphins, which cause you to relax even more. Go slow. Experience the sun, what's called the Tanjin. Relax the body. Quiet the mind. Now, think about, imagine, or remember a favorite place in nature. Notice the sights, the sounds, the smells, and especially the feelings of this special place. It could be a beautiful beach, a majestic mountain, a peaceful lake, a woodland stream, or your own quiet bed. Create your own inner sanctuary that you can go to in your mind anytime you wish. Be there in this special place and just escape for this moment of time. Tell yourself, I feel calm. I feel relaxed. I feel wonderful. I am calm. I am relaxed. I am wonderful. My mind is open to receive all the good that is coming to me this day. I'll be able to recall all information easily, comfortably, and confidently. I feel calm. I feel relaxed. I feel wonderful. I am calm. I am relaxed. I am wonderful. If you like, you may drift off to a nice, restful sleep. Or stay in your zone and slowly open your eyes. Keep your eyes soft as you scan the room and observe things you didn't notice before. This zone is the best place to be for study, for work, for creative thought or expression. Use it any time you like. When you're ready, bring yourself back to full awareness. And notice how much more relaxed, focused, and aware you feel. I'm Lois Hermann, success coach and clinical hypnotist, helping you be the best you can be. Let's see if I can get you back to the slides. So in a moment, I'm hoping that you didn't drift off to sleep. In a moment, we're going to have Dr. Chan, who is an expert in Qigong, lead us in an exercise, another breathing exercise, because breathing is so good, so important for our health and vitality. So we're going to go over some steps to success for your body, your mind, your spirit, your life, because if you care for yourself as you would your baby. You're going to sail through this. This is going to be okay. My story, you've got to take some time and invest in your health, because it's not indulgent. Caring for yourself is an act of survival. And right now, we're kind of in survival mode. So as we hunker down, we've got to care for ourselves and really enjoy this time with one another. One of the other interesting things, another connection that I made as I was thinking about this, it's interesting that this time happens at a time of Lent for some people, and for some people it's Passover. And in Passover, the Jewish families hunkered down because there was something that was going to come and take the firstborn. Those that stayed inside and prayed, and of course I think they had to put I may not be stating this exactly right, but they put the blood of a lamb or a goat over the door, over the threshold, and the sickness passed them. So they were able to survive. So I think that if we can think of this as hunkering down and going through a time of Passover, this will be really good. So just a little bit of background about me. My background is a diagnostic medical professional, 40 years, had a fabulous career. I was a corporate trainer and a systems designer. I'm very analytical. I ended up learning hypnosis to help my children and myself go through a very difficult time. And then I ended up, you can read more about my spiritual connection in the Spirits of Amaskeg. I do a lot of spiritual-based hypnosis work. And I now am on a mission of hope with my latest book, which has inspired me to step out of my comfort zone and share a lot of different things with you. So my why, I'm here to help people be the best they can be, helping people to change your mind, because when you change your mind, you can change your life. So I know we're already all dealing with pressure, the media madness, the negativity, all the stuff that's going on. And now on top of that, we've got this fear of the unknown. We've got challenging people who are taking stuff from stores. We've got demanding customers that are like, they don't want to have to work from home. There's a lot of different issues that we're dealing with, plus financial worries. And many people have children at home and they're pulling their hair out. It just keeps coming. I know that this is a stressful time, but what we need to realize is stress and fear lowers our antibodies, and it causes an increase in sickness. So when we're anxious or depressed, we've got the cortisol levels get unbalanced. When we're exhilarated and happy, the body produces interleukin, which boosts the immune system. And right now, we've got to keep our immune system pretty steady going here. So as we can stay more easygoing, we'll have more stable physiology in our body and less sickness. So it is a scientific fact that stress and fear lower the immune system and which leaves us at increased risk for illness. There have been studies that show that cancer patients experience extreme stress in their lives within 18 months of an illness onset. So what we need to do is change that for us. Keep ourselves in a state of peace and serenity as we move through this. What happens when we go into stress? We reach for things to calm us. I call it the need to nurture. We reach for cigarettes, we reach for drink, we start biting our nails, we eat too much. It's all that need to nurture. And what you need to do is nurture yourself with some other techniques that I'm going to show you in a minute, because the stress can really take us out. It ends up causing issues with our sleep, causes all sorts of unhealthy issues. And the stress affects us mentally, physically, and emotionally. So we need to shift out of it in order to handle our life in a better fashion. The other thing that we need to realize is even though they may not express it, they are picking up on all this stress that's going on. I was speaking with somebody about the blizzard of '78, and this gentleman was a child at the time, and he said they were having a great time. They were out of school, they were playing, it was like snow forts. They did not see this as a horrible thing. But our children, because of all the media, our children are picking up on all of this stress, and we need to insulate them from all of this the media, the news, all the people are saying so much negative, and you don't really know what to believe. Truth, it is coming. There is a storm coming. We just need to handle it with our own bodies, with our own mind, with a sense of calm serenity. So, how do we handle stress? You can handle it like a dog. Eat it or play with it or just pee on it and walk away. We can't really walk away, but we can stay home and we can play. And of course, with a cat, relax with a cat. We're going to break up from this stress. We've got to keep ourselves in a sense of serenity here. So I'm going to give you some stress recipes. Care for the mind, the spirit, the body, caring for the self before you reach out to care for others. Because you want to start off by being with the people who bring out the best in you, not the stress in you, which means turn off the TV. Give yourself small doses of news. Don't allow it to be on all day long. Yes, you've got to stay abreast of what's going on, but not completely immersed in it. So body care for success. Breathe. If you're starting to feel some stress in your neck, breathe into it. Listen to what your body is telling you. Breathe into the feeling and allow yourself to be. When you get depressed, stressed, or worried, you compress. We look down, right? And when we compress, what happens is our lungs can't fill up. When you look up, it shifts the endorphins. It allows your lungs to fully expand, so you get more oxygen, you get more endorphins, because the vagus nerve that runs along the spine, along the diaphragm, releases endorphins, and you feel better. So go outside, open your arms up to Mother Gaia, to the sun, to Mother Gaia, and say, I'm here. It's going to be okay. Bless us. Keep us safe. Move your body. We're going to be sitting a lot. We're at home. We're not moving around. So many of us are going to be at the computer a lot. Just move. I say I have people, 1 minute every hour. Just get up and shake it out. We aren't going to be able to go to the gym right now, but you can find ways just to move your body. Put on some music, dance, shake your hands, escape into nature. You've got to find little ways to keep your body healthy and strong. Those of us who are at the computer a lot, stretch, change positions, take breath breaks. Watch your texting, because when we text, our heads down like this, that's where we end with the neck pain. We've got to be careful. Take a walk, take the stairs, get yourself in healthy fashion by doing mini doses of health throughout the day. And then we've got to sleep. Let go of all the stress, because when we can sleep consistently, that helps us all the way around. Limit your electronics before you go to bed, because the LED lights in our electronics stimulate the retina, cause us to be more awake. Limit your caffeine and alcohol beforehand. My husband teases me that I take a pre-bed nap because I'll fall asleep on the couch. Go to bed. Get a good solid night's sleep, and be careful about eating. I've heard that you should not eat a grape after 8, because you want to allow your body to eat. You want to eat earlier in the day so that your body burns off the calories. If you eat at night, your body's going to want to burn the calories, and it's going to keep you up, and you don't want that. You want to be able to tell your body, it's time to rest. Keep a little notepad by your bed, just one of these kind of little notepads that you can, and a pencil. I love these little mechanical pencils, so that if your mind gets busy, take some notes in the middle of the night with a pencil. Just write it down, get it out of your mind, put it to the side, and say, okay, subconscious, it is time to sleep. We'll catch that in the morning. Use night lights so that you don't have to turn lights on during the night. If you have to get up to use the restroom or get a drink of water, use some night lights just so that you can traverse through the house without turning lights on. There's all kinds of different things that you can do to help yourself to sleep. And one of the things, my favorite recipes, is called the Magic Rock. This would be a good time if you're home and looking for a good book. This would be a good time to check out a book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Many of you have heard of The Secret. She wrote a follow-on book called The Magic, which is a 28-day workbook on gratitude. So one of the exercises in her book is called the Magic Rock. And in the evening, you're supposed to take your rock and you're supposed to hold it and think of the best thing that happened today. And so many good things happen, but our mind automatically goes to the woulda, shoulda, couldas. And if you train your mind to think of the best thing that happened and say, thank you, thank you, thank you for the best thing, the subconscious mind says, and it can relax and you feel better. The subconscious mind allows you then to drift off to a nice, peaceful sleep. So you've got to take time to care for yourself. Of course, you could do Reiki on yourself for those of you who are Reiki practitioners. You can also send Reiki. If you know anybody that's a Reiki 2 or a Reiki master, they can send Reiki to you. So I know that you can't really get a massage right now, many of you can't necessarily get chiropractic care because we are many people are having to shelter in place, as it were. But you can practice doing some different types of massage your own hands, massage your neck. You have your partner at home do a little bit of massage for you. Practice some mindfulness. I'm going to be giving you a couple of exercises to do because you've got to take care of that body of yours. You've only got one in this lifetime. So the better you take care of it, the better your immune system will be. And when this storm comes through, it will pass you by. Or if you do end up catching it, you won't be so susceptible to really getting sick. So right now, prevention is key. Washing our hands, avoiding things that could contaminate, being mindful of the things that our mother taught us years ago. But right now, take a little time for self. Because the mind is really important. Many of you have heard of neuroplasticity, and that is how our minds are programmed. So, for instance, if you think about going down a path through the woods, a well-worn path, even if it doesn't take you where you want to go, it's a comfortable path, so that's where we go. Right now, I'm going to challenge you by going down a path of serenity, of calmness, in spite of the fact that there's all this chaos going on around us. Train your mind to go down a path of calm. So it's a little bit harder to go down a new path. You've got to blaze that path. But if you want to get to a place where you want to be, you're going to train your subconscious mind. You've got to get the conscious mind engaged to train the subconscious. This is where we're going. This is where we're going. This is where we're going. Practice makes permanent. It does not make perfect. Maybe it does, but it does make permanent. So you want to, if your mind starts to wander into all kinds of other stress, say, no, not right now. We're going to think about this, because the mind can really only think of one thing at a time. I want to share this with you. This is called the mind-body connection, how the things that we think affect our bodies. So let's hope that this shares with you well. Let's just see if this works. Oh, Caprice, come on up. Thank you. Yay! So I want you just to stand here in front of all of our wonderful guests. Yeah. So come right over here a little bit further. Good. So I want you to, do either of your shoulders bother you, or you're good? I'm pretty good. Okay, I want you to make your arms loose. Loose as a goose. Flip. All right, now, great. Now hold your arm out. And I want you to just resist me a little bit, just like that. No, Russ, no tensing, Just your body will do it all on its own. There you go. Say, my name is Caprice. My name is Caprice. Okay. Just resist me a little bit. My name is Caprice. Is your name Caprice? My name is Caprice. Okay, just hold your arm out there, nice and straight. There you go. My name is Caprice. Good. Nice and straight. Nice and strong. Okay, now say, my name is Gertie. My name is Gertie. Yeah, the body knows truth from fiction. My name is Caprice. My name is Caprice. Can't push her down. Right? Yeah. Body's amazing. All right, now Caprice, I'd like you to think of something that gives you incredible joy. Look at her face. I can't push her down. Now, think of something that makes you really sad, mad, or angry. Close your eyes. Got it? Whoa! Weak, weak, weak. Happy again. Happy thought. Pull it back. There you go. Isn't that amazing? Give it a clap. That was really good. All right. Now let me show you something else that happens. Hold your arm out like that again. This one can come down. And I'm going to do this. Watch. She just went weak. Hold your arm out again. Watch this. Strong. What happened there? And it's energy. It's also energy. Now, as a group, I want you all. So I'm being told that you can't see my video. So let me stop that for a second, and I'll just go back to sharing the show. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully you're now able to see the PowerPoint. So what that is showing you, you can see the rest of it on my YouTube channel. So what that's showing you is the power of the mind. The body knows truth from fiction. Pay attention to your inner wisdom. If your body is saying something's wrong here, pay attention to it because it's giving you a message. If your body goes weak when you're thinking of negative thoughts, it's going to weaken you all the way down. If your mind is upset and you go weak, guess what? Your immune system tanks. So pay attention to think of the happy things, the good things. We all have amazing things to be grateful for. Stay focused on the good things. And then what I was doing at the end there, where I was basically messing with her energy, we are energetic beings. So watch that on the YouTube channel, because thoughts affect things. Our attitude is based on what we think. How many people have been watching the news and all this angst and anger and fear and everything, and it just causes you to compress? Shift it. Think of something that gives you joy. Think of something that gives you peace and serenity. Focus on this moment of now. People are blaming people. They're blaming the Chinese. The Chinese did not know what hit them. They did the best they could. This is not about blame. This is about the situation. This is happening right now. Focus on what's coming in. Hello, and Dr. Laura's joining us, so I can see her in the little window over there. So, hi, Dr. Laura.
Hi, Lois. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm going to continue on for a little bit, and then I'm going to formally introduce you and let you kind of take over. I've been rambling on a little bit about how thoughts affect our physiology. So we've got to focus on the present. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with those kids that are stuck in the house with you. Give them opportunities to play, to do different things, and to get creative. This is a great time to catch up on things. But the mind can only think about one thought at a time, so focus on what's important to you. So these are things that I just tell people: stop it. Stop your smoking, especially now with this. If this comes, this disease is one that is going to be affecting lungs. So those of you who are smokers, stop it. Drinking too much alcohol, overeating, all that stuff, electronics that interferes with our electrical system. Also worry. You want to make health a priority, especially at times like this. So I'm going to teach you a couple of exercises. You know how when you get stressed out, I'm going to see if we can shift. Let me just see here. There, now we can see both of us. Good. So you know how when you get stressed, sometimes you rub the back of your neck, and sometimes you hold your head like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I want you to do both. Everybody do this for a moment. Put your hand in the back of your neck and put the other one on your forehead. And just leave them there for a moment. And I want you to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth gently behind your teeth. That's just causing you to relax that jaw, because many of us carry tension in our jaw. And I want you just to breathe gently for a few seconds. This reduces stress and helps the mind respond to outer events and inner thoughts differently. It brings you back to being at choice. So I want you just to briefly imagine a stressful incident while holding these 2 points. Chances are it's hard to hold it, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? Little ways to allow yourself to be calm. Another one that I have is called the hookup. So I want you to cross one ankle, this would be a wrist, one wrist over the other, and the same ankle over the other ankle, just for a few minutes, actually 30 to 60 seconds. Again, tongue on the roof of your mouth and just breathe. Breathe in that fresh air. This has a centering and grounding effect. It slows down an overactive right brain and brings an overactive left brain into focus. It's very, very calming. And then uncross and tap up, touch all your fingers together. And some people can feel a tingle here. Now, Dr. Chan is an acupuncturist, so I'm told that these are acupressure meridian points. So by doing that, you're giving yourself self-acupuncture. You can't go see Dr. Chan right now because she's not doing acupuncture right now, but I bet she's got some other tips that you can do for self-acupuncture pressure points that you can do to relax yourself. There's also tapping. I'm not going to get into that right now today, but there are a lot of different things you can do to help yourself to get calm and centered. So, Dr. Laura, do you have an acupressure technique that you would advise or encourage people to use?
I do. There are two major points that we could work on for stress and anxiety, which are so common right now. The first one is going to be this point right here. It gets called the harmony point or large intestine 4 because it's the 4th point on the large intestine acupuncture meridian. So the way you find it is you put a finger on the big knuckle here on the index finger, and then you slide your thumb back until you hit this other big knuckle right here, and then halfway between the two and right under the bone. You should find a little tender spot.
Yeah,
This point is almost like the equivalent of the delete button on the keyboard. So it's like our energetic delete system. So if you're feeling headaches or a lot of stress or anxiety, you can massage this point and just intend that you're releasing it or clearing it. So this point is very powerful for that.
Does it matter which hand?
It doesn't matter which hand, it's symmetrical. So you can, if you get a little sore on one hand, you can switch over to the other hand. Okay. And I suggest using either the thumb or the index finger of the hand to really massage it and get in there. You'll find when you get it correctly, it's really tender. Now, this should not be done by women who are early in pregnancy because it can be so powerful at releasing that for a woman in her first trimester of pregnancy, you don't want to overstimulate this acupuncture point. So, yeah.
Does your hand need to be tight or should it be loose?
Nope, it can be loose, but I find it's almost easier to feel and massage if my other hand has a loose fist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's one point. The next point, I'm just going to move my computer, is actually on the shin. So you can find it by take the center of your palm and put it right on your kneecap. And then put your middle finger on the height of your shin bone. So right on the shin bone, put your middle finger on it with all your fingers touching. And then at the corner of the ring finger, right there, corner of the ring finger, this point is really important to clear when we have anxiety. So you can really massage down on that point, and you can even tap it. If you're feeling anxious, a good way to clear that is to make sure you tap on that point, but you can get both sides of the knees and really tap it on both legs, and it can help disperse that feeling of anxiety that we hold in those meridians.
That's interesting. And I don't consider myself very stressed, but that point's tender.
Yes, it's common. Yeah, it's common.
I definitely feel that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that point helps us clear when we're ingesting a lot of news, ingesting a lot of information, because it's in our systemic meridian. So it's that organ that takes things in from the outside world. And that energetically in our acupuncture system includes information, news, and media. So it can get overwhelmed. So you can help clear it that way.
I like that. We need that because there's so much information out there. And as I was saying, we really don't know what to believe. Some of it has been sensationalized. We do know that this is a very, that this virus that's coming is this is a very serious matter.
Yeah.
However, so I encourage people to do doses of media, maybe 5 minutes in the morning, 5 at noon, 5 in the evening, and then say, that's enough, that's too much.
Yeah.
So that you're limiting your exposure.
It's really excellent advice. And it's hard to do, especially while we're home and not busy doing other things in the
Right.
same way. Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're home, you can put on some music, beautiful music. And there's some really nice people who do a lot of nice Facebook posts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know that in the Facebook community that I belong to, there are so many really wonderful things that people are posting. And then I'll reshare them. And that's what we need to do is we need to stay connected through positive stuff.
I absolutely agree with you. And so I'm so grateful that you're doing this webinar.
Well, I have a couple more slides to go through,
Go ahead.
but I wanted to be able to show what you were showing us. So let me jump back on and share. Let's see if I can do this. Let's share this. Can you see my slides again? Hold on, it's the wrong one. Here we go. There we go. Can everybody, Laura, can you see that?
No.
Okay, then I did something wrong. I'm going to end it for now and come back to this. This is always a challenge for me. I have to learn to do this in the right sequence. So share, oh, here we go. Share, and then I'm going to share my PowerPoint. And that's the right one. Yes. And we got to come down here and find I find where I left off. Sorry. Down here a little ways. Here we go. And from this slide. Now we go. So these stress-busting affirmations, you can even say to yourself, the more stressed I am, the more stressed others are, the calmer I am. The more relaxed I am, the better I feel. I am calm and relaxed. We were talking about neuroplasticity and reprogramming the mind. So the more you tell yourself something over and over and over, you will allow yourself to embrace it. It's, again, practice makes permanent. Create your own little self-hypnosis mantra. I am well, I am healthy, I am strong. This storm is going to pass. So mindfulness, just say no, not now. If people are wanting to call in and dump on you, one of the beautiful things about these phones is, I'm so sorry, again, doses of negative people. Sorry, I've lost the connection. So you want to just say yes to yourself, be present. Take this time to learn something new. Think of something that you enjoy and do something that gives you joy. Many times I hear people say, I don't have time, I don't have time. People are now home and they now have the time to do things. I'm just going to throw these out here. They're on my website. There's some CDs to listen to. The Stress Will Be Successful is a hypnosis-based meditation that you can use. It's loishermann.com. You can go there, download those if you want. Spiritual care for health. I consider spiritual care is the heart care, the stuff that's going to give your body, mind, and spirit joy, which would be, playing with kittens and cats and children and dogs, or turn on the music and get out some veils and dance and do goofy things. Sing, pull out the dusty old guitar and play it again, or do something, laugh, watch a funny show, watch something that gives you joy, and then of course, escape into nature, because nature is the best healer. So the spiritual connection, a lot of people are forgotten to what I call pray, but pray does not necessarily mean that it's going to church and specifically praying. It means that it's realizing that there's something greater than us. There's something that if we ask for some assistance, it will be there, be it masters, angels, it could be nature, Mother Nature. But if we feel isolated and alone and we don't have, we are all that is, that's where we get lost. So if we just take a moment to connect with something that's a little bit beyond us, that's greater than us, we'll be able to feel better about who we are. So this attitude of gratitude. Start each day with 10 grateful thoughts. Wake in the morning and go, okay, what can I be grateful for today? This morning, people are posting about their flowers on Facebook. Well, here in New Hampshire, we had a beautiful dusting of snow. And I think that's Mother Nature just saying, blanket of snow, settle down, slow down, enjoy yourself. And then I talked about the magic rock at night, saying, thank you for the best thing that happened. And know that only good will come of this. Only good will come of this. We are at a time of critical change in our society, in our families. We don't know what's going to come of this, but if we tell ourselves only good will come of this, only good will come of this. It's going to be change, but change can be good. So this is where I was going to introduce Dr. Chan. I belong to the New Hampshire Health and Wellness Center as an affiliate. We have these amazing group of holistic practitioners. We have some new people. We need to get a new picture, Laura. You can check out the New Hampshire Health and Wellness Center website for all the new people. And then, of course, there's Ruby there in the middle, our little therapy dog. So we are dedicated to helping other people to attain optimal health through natural methods. So here's our precious, wonderful, I love my Dr. Chan. Dr. Chan is a naturopathic doctor, an acupuncturist, and she is a nutrition therapy expert. So I'm happy to have her, and I have some slides. She hasn't seen them yet, but I'm just going to turn this over and let her chatter about these slides now. So tell me, you can talk about them, about what do we need to do? I know that Dr. Chan is my doctor, so I know she tells me all the time I need to limit my sugar, my caffeine, my dairy, my gluten, all those things. So tell us why. Why do we need to limit these things?
Absolutely, Lois. And just in terms of the screen, I'm not sure if people can see me, but I'll jump right in with my voice on these helpful slides. So thank you for that. And you're absolutely right. Some of the best things we can do for ourselves right now are to make sure that our immune system is in a good place. And that really means lifestyle and diet. So diet in particular, we want to eat whole foods, really limit our sugar, limit things that rev up our nervous system like caffeine. And so that's because our immune system gets suppressed when we have too much sugar. And that's not just sugar in the form of cane sugar. That's sugar in the form of really refined grains like breads and flours and lots of cookies and pastas and things like that, bagels. So if our diet is really high in carbs and breads, it's similar in that way. So we want to keep those limited, especially now, but really all the time, in my opinion, because viruses are circulating regularly, although this is a novel virus more because of its mutation, and it's more virulent than some. It's important that we keep our immune system strong all the time so that we're not trying to play catch up when it really counts, like right now. So dairy and gluten, some dairy can be really reasonable to have depending on if you have a dairy intolerance or not, or a dairy sensitivity, which a lot of people do, which is unfortunate, but not everybody does. So I'm not strictly anti-dairy in my approach, unless you find that you don't feel well with it, in which case it could be useful for anybody to really check that out and take about 2 weeks to strictly avoid it and then add it back in and see if you notice anything. A lot of people find that to be a useful experiment. I do think that unsweetened yogurts or certain sheep's milk or goat's milk cheeses can be tolerated by many, not all. So worth considering the quality of your dairy. Like a nice manchego is totally different than the single sliced Kraft American cheese pieces. So the devil's in the details, so to speak, when it comes to that. Gluten is a common food that people react to as well. And if you're having a lot of digestive issues, sometimes it's worth taking a break, like 2 weeks or 4 weeks off of gluten-containing foods and doing a little cleanse to see if it makes a difference. And now we're home, and could be a worthwhile time to experiment with some different things. You're
Making
absolutely right.
and having an opportunity to actually cook.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And learn to cook. There's so many resources, YouTube, things like that. So eating really a whole foods diet is essential right now. I would add too, before I address the drink more water, that if possible, getting probiotic foods, such as these aren't always popular foods, but things like raw sauerkraut, kimchi, fermented foods like kombucha, again, those unsweetened yogurts if you tolerate dairy or things like that. Now there are a lot of good non-dairy options for yogurt. Getting those probiotics are really helpful for the gut health, and our immune system is so directly connected to our good gut health. In fact, I was just listening to an immunologist speak the other day on how having good gut health is one of the best things we can have if we were to get coronavirus, because it helps us balance the inflammation that comes from the virus. So good probiotics or probiotic foods are really useful and important. Staying hydrated is essential. Can't say enough about that. It's just good for energy levels. It's good for every function in the body. It needs to be well hydrated. I think there's a tendency when people are sitting at home to be a little bit more careless about that sometimes, but it's also a great opportunity to be more hydrated. Um, So I love this slide because these are such excellent foods here, and hopefully everybody's able to get fresh foods. I have noted a lot of food delivery options are still available, such, for example, as something called Misfits. It's a free website, not free delivery, of organic produce that's misshapen. So they call it Misfits, and they're still delivering now. So if you're low on your produce, you can check something like that out to get a good delivery. Garlic is a powerhouse. It is incredibly antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. It has been studied in SARS, which is actually a coronavirus. The virus that circulated in 2003 was called SARS. And garlic was shown to be helpful in being antiviral against that. So it's great for our immune system, good for the gut, and you can increase it as long as you tolerate it well in your diet right now. So chop it up, make a pesto, which is a great way to get raw garlic in a more tolerable way typically. So throw some garlic. You don't have to use basil. You can use spinach or arugula or parsley or a different green, some olive oil. You don't have to use pine nuts. You can use any type of nuts and some olive oil. Blend it all together, and there you go. Voila, you have a pesto. It can be delicious. All of these foods you have shown here, the avocado, such a healthy fat and can be so filling, and such a good source of other nutrients like magnesium, same as spinach, really a potent antioxidant, anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Just today, I recommended to a teenager who doesn't like vegetables to put a handful of spinach in a smoothie because it just makes it darker. You don't really taste it. So you can hide it behind a banana and some berries and blend it together in a smoothie. So hemp seeds are a great source of protein for people, which right now, last time I was in the grocery store, some of the shelves are empty of things like chicken, but full of vegetarian proteins like hemp seeds and lentils. So that can be a great way to replenish protein right now if it's harder to find other protein sources. So this is an excellent list here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you also had a list of vitamins, and this was what I took off of your list. But could you talk a little bit about these different vitamins, or maybe there's some others that you'd like to include?
Absolutely. So vitamins can be really useful. They're not a replacement for good diet or good lifestyle or all the stress management that you've been touting, which is essential. So as one of my teachers always used to say, you can't out supplement a crappy diet. So that's important to keep in mind. So diet first, and then these things can be added on top of that. So the research that's coming out of China right now about the coronavirus is largely that they're using vitamin C to treat it. Now, they're mostly talking about intravenous vitamin C, but some of the doses they're using are doses that we can actually achieve orally. So vitamin C is shown to be really protective with coronaviruses. So 2,000 milligrams, I'll tell you what I'm taking, and you feel free to extrapolate, though I will say I can't provide medical advice to individuals without knowing your certain situation, but what I'm taking right now, given the current situation, is vitamin C 2,000 milligrams twice a day. So a total of 4,000 milligrams a day, which is actually one of the doses they were using intravenously in China. Children, depending on their body weight, for small children, 1,000 milligrams would still be too much. But for children, that weigh 80 to 120 pounds, something like that, they can certainly go up higher. But small children, you can give lesser amounts, like 500 milligrams. If you give too much vitamin C, it'll just likely cause loose stools. So be advised about that some people, if they take 4,000 milligrams a day, might get slightly loose stools, which isn't a sign that you're reacting badly to it. It's just part of the way it works.
Okay.
So if that
What
happens,
is
you can
NAC?
cut back. NAC is an antioxidant. It's N-acetylcysteine. Cysteine is an amino acid. It's an antioxidant just like vitamin C is, but it happens to have an affinity for the lung tissue. And in coronavirus, it's the lungs that are most vulnerable. So NAC is protective in an antioxidant way for the lung tissue. So I'm taking 1,200 milligrams a day, and I'm doing that in divided doses. So I'm taking 600 milligrams 2 times a day. It can be given to children, but again, it would be different from very small children to, maybe a 10-year-old. That would be different. So it's really by body weights, and there's some calculations that you can look up online to learn how to adjust an adult dose to a children's dose by body weight. So vitamin C and NAC are big. B complex is great for energy, great for mental clarity, good for our adrenal system, which is important for our immune system. So it can be, B complexes are often also in a multivitamin or folate, and folate is high in leafy greens. So if you don't happen to have a multi at home or a B complex, but you have lots of leafy greens, you're in pretty good shape there. And then B vitamins are often in things like eggs or meat protein, whatnot, especially B12 in particular, which is helpful for energy. And our immune system needs them as well. Vitamin D is so important right now for people. We aren't getting enough time outside, and also time of year plays into how much vitamin D we can get, and we don't get a huge amount still yet this time of year. But vitamin D is extraordinary for the immune system and balancing it. It helps support the part of our immune system that helps defend us against viruses. So it's very preventative. I'm taking 5,000 IU a day right now. Most people don't realize that it's essential to take vitamin D with food because it's a fat-soluble vitamin. 5,000 would have to be adjusted down for smaller children, but it's an appropriate adult dose, at least for a period of time, like a month or two or longer. Some people even take a higher dose in the short term for their immune support. Vitamin D, because it's fat soluble, you can ultimately take too much of it, so it's just something to be cautious of. You don't want to take it at a very high dose for long term at all.
Now, Dr. Laura, if you're going outside and you're getting some sun exposure, do you need to take as much vitamin D, or if you're getting some sun, is there sort of a balance there?
So right now we're not getting very much vitamin D, this partly because of the angle of the sun this time of year, and also the fact that most of our bodies are covered with clothes, and it's usually just our hands and faces that are exposed. So we're really not getting that much when we're outside. Now, that said, I agree with you that it's really important to be outside and be in nature for so many other reasons, and we are getting a bit of vitamin D, but we're probably not getting enough to get the rapid immune response that we're looking for people right now.
Excellent. And then you had another list of a bunch of different herbs and stuff. And I've been hearing people talk about making their elderberry tea. So
Yes. Exactly. So there's so many antiviral herbs. Herbs are incredible. There aren't actually that many antiviral pharmaceuticals. There are some, and the numbers are growing. But Mother Nature really knew what she was up to in terms of making a lot of antiviral herbs. Um, there is a well, I've noticed a lot of misinformation circulating on the internet in recent days related to herbal use in COVID-19. And I want to take a chance to clarify some of that. So, specifically, some people have expressed concern about herbs overstimulating the immune system and causing what's called a cytokine storm. And that's theoretical and not true. So, if somebody has what's called a cytokine storm, it's from the virus itself, not from the treatment or herbal treatment. So I just want to help clarify that because I've seen it circulated fairly widely, and it really is debunked when you look more closely at the science. So just to take that cautionary tale and let people know you can use these herbs very safely. That said, research is still very early in terms of COVID-19. We don't know for sure yet what works and what doesn't to kill it or to prevent it. So a lot of these herbs we know work well with the flu virus. Some like garlic and echinacea we know worked well with the SARS virus. So we're extrapolating from that information as best we can. Licorice, which is Lycoriza up there on the top, also a very good one that worked with the SARS virus. So we're extrapolating as best we can since we're early in gathering information still about the coronavirus here, but these herbs are just incredible for helping to kill viruses and support the immune response. There's no need to go out and go crazy and take enormous doses of them because herbs are powerful, and so I recommend just moderation. A lot of them can be done in teas, like dandelion, echinacea you can get in a tea. Green tea is usually in a tea. A lot of them you can cook with, like cinnamon or garlic. And so andrographis is an herb that kills just about everything. It's antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic. It's used in Lyme disease treatment. So I've heard some infectious disease doctors who are more integrative talk about using andrographis. It's their impression that it should be useful against COVID-19, but again, that's still theoretical. We don't have that research yet. But
Where can people get most of the, where can they get some of these that are not as common? You know, cinnamon and green tea and garlic and echinacea, we can all get regularly. We may even have them in our cabinet, but some of these are other names that are very different.
yeah,
Is that something that we can get at
yeah.
the center or online, or where could people get these?
So at the current moment, I would suggest online just to reduce trips to the stores and things like that. Most health food stores or integrative pharmacies would have all of these things. So even I think of Whole Foods, for example, they would have most of these things, whether they're sold out or not at the moment, I'm not sure. I do have some in my dispensary at our clinic, and also can send people links to order them when as needed for that. Now, it is widely known amongst people who are interested in these things that these herbs are useful. So there is a little bit of a shortage right now on some of them.
Sure.
Yep.
So just basically make healthy choices, healthy for your body, for your mind, for just basically creating some, changing some new habits and choosing health.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't say it better myself, Lois. Yeah.
So I wanted you to, I was telling them, I did a centering exercise at the very beginning that people can get. It's actually on my YouTube channel. You can log in, listen to it as much as you want, but it's a breathing exercise. But I know that you are a Qigong expert. And I would love for you, and we're going to be probably going a little overtime if people don't mind, but I would love for you to just do a little demonstration or just tell us a little bit about the benefits of Qigong.
Oh, thanks for asking. Qi is thought to be the energy or life force that moves in our body, and Gong means to move. So it's a practice of moving the energy through our body through just breathing and through simple movements. And it can be an extraordinary way to keep one's energy up and immune system strong and our energetic fields more clear. It's very useful for empaths in that way. And there's just some really simple techniques. Now, I'm not sure if people can see me, so I can
Hold on,
actually.
I'll change it.
Yeah,
Stop
okay.
sharing so people can see you. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
There we go. Now we can see.
Okay, hi. All right. So I'm just going to teach a really super simple one that you can do in your seat that we don't really have to move much for. So you just take your hands and put them on your lower belly. And that's called our dantian. So that's the energy center that we try to store energy in Chinese medicine. So the dantian is right here, just about an inch or two below our belly button. And then there's an energy center at the base of our neck. So right where our shoulders turn into our neck, that's an energy center there. So you can close your eyes if you want, or you can keep them open. And very simply, all we're going to do is keeping your hands on your lower belly. You're going to breathe in and feel your hands expand out. So expand your lower belly out as you breathe in. And as you exhale, just soften your shoulders and feel the base of your neck soften and relax. And then inhale and bring your attention to your lower belly. Feel your hands push away as your belly pushes out. And exhale, soften the base of your neck and the space between your shoulders. And repeat that several times. So inhale into your lower belly. Feel your hands expand out as your belly pushes out. And exhale, soften the base of your neck. And usually you can just take a minute or 2 minutes and go back and forth between those two energy centers. It's very simple, but it's powerful because according to Qigong theory, it balances the yin and the yang of our body. The center in our belly is a yin center, and this is a yang center. And when those are balanced, we're in good health.
Wonderful. Now you teach Qigong. Are you doing some of it online? Are you going to be doing some online training or just gathering people together to do more of the same?
Yes. So I have a practice group that meets regularly, and usually we meet in person, but this month we're going to meet online this coming Sunday, March 22nd. If anybody's interested in joining that, you can feel free to email me. I think you have my email address.
I'm going to be sharing your email and everything in just a minute.
Okay, thank you. So we can connect that way. And then I'm planning to teach an in-person class in June, depending on the state of how things are progressing. That may move to an online class. So that's to be determined at this point.
Excellent. So let's go back to our slides. Let me see if I can do this. This one. Yay. Oh, goody. Did it. This is always a technical challenge here. So now, just in review, this is about taking care of the self. Sleeping well, eating healthy, moving your body, even if it's just a little bit. Practice mindfulness. Enjoy some heart-centered fun. Have an attitude of gratitude and breathe. You've got to take care of your health because your life depends on it right now. So change your perception. Yes, we can see that this doom and gloom is coming, or we can say, we live in a beautiful, wonderful place. It's all about perception. Change your perception and change your world. Because change is good. Change your choices to keep the body healthy. Change your thoughts to keep the mind happy. Change the attitude to one of gratitude. And change our patterns to change the world. We are facing with some major changes coming down. So I'm going to challenge you to be the change you wish to see in the world. Dr. Chan is doing amazing things to help people to change using natural remedies and help just paying attention to their body. We are looking at reversing. We've got this one crisis, but we actually have multiple crises going on at the same time. Just as I showed you at the beginning, there's so many crisis, but we are able to shift. We are looking at bringing hope to humanity. Those of you who know me know that I have this passion. I am really on a mission to get hope out there, and it is through this book that I've just published. It's in soft cover ebook and audio, and the second one is on its way. And some of the stuff that we're looking at right now is predicted in this series of books. So what we're doing is we actually have an online group of people who are meeting once a month. We also have a Facebook group where we are supporting one another with missions of hope, with positive stuff, helping each other and our planet to shift into the positive. I'm also, based on all these things, I've got an Inspiring Hope radio show. There's so much negative news out there, and instead of me complaining about it, I decided to have a positive news show, a good news show, because there's so many great people doing good things. So I feature a guest every Sunday, typically every Sunday, somebody who's doing great things. So Dr. Chan's going to be on Easter, right?
Right? I'm
Yes.
looking forward to it.
Well, that'll be great. I am too. So here are the things that I provide: hypnosis, and I'm doing a lot of Zoom sessions. I've been doing Zoom sessions for years, so that's an easy thing for me. You can reach me at loishermann.com. Friend my Facebook, my Success Coach Facebook page. I give daily doses of positive energy. It's just, that's my shtick. That's what I do. I want to give the positive. There's too much negative. We've got to shift it to the positive. And then Dr. Chan, she is a naturopathic medicine doctor, a nutritional therapy expert, and an acupuncturist. So you can reach her. Here are her. Is there a different Facebook page you would encourage, Dr. Chan?
Oh, good question. You can find me. You can just search Dr. Laura Chan on Facebook and find me that way.
Okay, excellent. And then this is your email, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
So thank you for being here. Life is precious and time passes quickly. So dance, dance, dance like no one is watching. And I'm going to stop sharing. And now